it's my Polzine. I'm filming two videos today. You've probably already seen the first one, which was our review of the lipstick that I'm wearing. If you haven't, I'll put it in the link down below. Pixie is squeaking the same damn toy. She always squeaks the second I start recording. How is that? I don't know. Do you just know I'm recording so you grab the same damn toy? We'll never know. But I thought today would be fun to do. This was requested, kind of showing you guys all my tattoos, because some people were wondering what they were. So let's start with the very first one that I ever got, which is this one right here. So this one way says faith, and oh my gosh, how am I gonna? And this way, I can get it straight without killing my arm. You guys can see it. So that's hope. So faith and hope. Oh, my wrist. This one I got when I turned 18. The design itself is inspired by a person I saw in New Orleans that had a very similar tattoo that said faith and hope. I designed my own version of it, and then it didn't look well when we tried translating it into a template to become a tattoo, so we ended up going with something like this. And then after this, I got really addicted to tattoos and wanted more because they're awesome. And, no, not that one. I got this cross behind my ear just on a whim. I wasn't even planning on this one, but I got this one on a whim. And then just 2 days later, I went back to the same tattoo parlor and got this tattoo, which is the same pattern kind of as this one, but instead of faith and hope, I banged my wrist on something. On this arm, instead of faith and hope, like on this hand, this one says trust. If you guys can see that. It says trust. And then I'm just looking over there to see, make sure I got this in focus or all the way in the camera view because I don't have a viewfinder. And then the other side says love. So trust and love. My mom claims she can never see this one. This one is the one she says she can never see the tattoo design of it. After that, what was the next tattoo I got after that? After that, I think, was the rose, which is the one that I tried showing you inside the cross. So this one, I'm going to turn a little bit, is just a rose. A tattoo parlor when I was at college was advertising that they were giving away free rose tattoos. And I thought that meant you could get any rose tattoo you wanted instead of one that they had pre-designed. So I went and I was like, I want the free rose tattoo. And they showed me the design and I was like, oh no, I don't want that rose. And they're like, well, that's the free rose. I'm like, well, then I'll pay for a different rose. So then I got this one. And I had, at the time, just joined a sorority, Alpha Omicron Pi, and rose is their symbol. They don't have a crest, they only have a symbol. So I wanted to get rose inspired by them. And then also my grandpa and my dog have both passed away. So I wanted a rose in remembrance of them. And then, as well as that, actually no, I think this one was my 5th tattoo, not my 4th tattoo. 5th. No, 6th. 6th tattoo, not my 4th. What number am I on? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so instead of 4, I don't think this was 4. I think this was 5. Let me show you number 4. This one I have to stand up for, which is why I'm getting up real quick. Okay, so this is not safe. So the next one that I got shaved, yeah, is this one on my ankle. I'm balancing on my chair right now, which is a military chevron after my grandpa. He was in the military in the Korean War. So he got this one. He was in the infantry. And he had this symbol. He also had the horse, but I didn't want to put that on. All my cousins had gotten a tattoo with this and the horse. And it was huge on their rib cage, and I wanted one similar. But I wanted a smaller version on my ankle, so I got this guy here. And then everyone asked me why I didn't make this a word. It's not because I didn't want to say the word why. I really didn't want to say why. The reason is, this is my mother's maiden name, and pretty much the only family that I ever see, their last name starts with the W. My real last name starts with the Y, which is why I have that in the middle. And then H is for my godmother, which is my aunt. So, W is the family that I'm close to, Y is my own last name, and then H is for my godmother. Yeah, maybe Polzine's not my real name. Mainly for privacy issues. not issues, just privacy. And then also just because it was, my name is way too common. No one would be able to find me by my real name. So I was just like, screw that. I want my own name. So I used my Polzine, which is after my grandma, her main last name, and then my other grandma's middle name. That's how I came up with it. That's pretty much the entire blog post. Maybe I won't link it. But yeah. So Y is my actual last name. Not just the letter Y. There's more to it. But that was the next, that was I think 4, and then this was 5. I have 6, which is on my back. So let me quickly, not change, well, I just take off the flannel. So let me take that off and we'll be right back. So tattoo 6 is on my shoulder, rotating around. And it is this feather here and it says learn to fly. And this was from the same tattoo parlor that did the rose and the family chevron thing on my ankle. So I went in with the idea that I would get a feather and then the word learn to fly on it. Didn't have a design done because I had no idea how to design that. And he recommended that he knew how to freehand really well. And I loved his work anyways because he did all my other tattoos. So I was like, sure, go ahead. So he free designed this with pen on my back. And then I said, yeah, let's tattoo that. And he's like, let's add some shadow in. So he added some shading in here. And then in letter type, he just wrote learn to fly. Again, this was all just basically freehand on my back. I mean, he did make a template for himself, so if there's blood, he could see it. But it was basically all freehand, which I love a lot. And I actually want to extend onto this tattoo. I don't know if I want to do some more feathers, like one up here and then one underneath it. But I want to add on top, it says learn to fly. This one I want to be standing from the ground. And then learn to fly. And then under that, I've still got a lot of fight left in me. And I don't know if I just wanted them as just the text matching this one. Or matching my wrist above and below. Or I want more feathers. But that's that one, which I love to death. I love this one a lot. I just want to extend onto it kind of after the fact, but I kind of want to add on to it just because it's kind of my story with bipolar disorder. Basically. There are songs that came out around like different time points of my bipolar disorder, like one that made me like realize that I had bipolar disorder, one that was like me deciding that I was no longer going to let it affect me, and then one when I felt like I finally accepted it, like, because when I decided I didn't want it to affect me anymore, I didn't like actually accepted it, I just said that I wanted it not to affect me anymore. And then the next one is like I fully accepted it and it doesn't bother me anymore, and I do have cycles, but not like as extreme as I used to, probably because I've learned how to manage it. So yeah, that's what I want to extend onto this guy. And then the last tattoo I got, which is this one, which I'll show you in a second here, I got for my grandma after she passed away from, I think they call it a reverse stroke. It's where you bleed out in your brain for a stroke instead of it going internally and just basically being a clot. She passed away and her favorite animal were hummingbirds. So I wanted to have that, and of course they matched the feather on the back and kind of just all of them. And then it's the only one that has color because she inspired me to be creative and artistic and like always follow my passions. So in a way I wanted her tattoo, the one that was dedicated to her, to be the only one that had color because she's the one who inspired me to be creative. I might add more color ones in the future. I probably won't though, just because that's like her special thing. But yeah, so let me show you guys here. So it is 3 hummingbirds. There's a red one, a purple one, and a green one flying from my collarbone. Oh, collarbone's kind of right here. But I want my collarbone off the shoulder. And I always pretend that the feather back here, over here, is from one of them, like, dropped it while they were flying off. That's just a random thing I always think. And then I want to get one more tattoo in the future, which is a paw print. That one probably actually would have color because I wanted to do a watercolor style, but it'd be on my ankle. And I always put them in places where I could easily hide them, so that way if I were down in the future that was against tattoos, because there's still places that are completely against tattoos, I could easily hide it. But it'd be a watercolor paw print, and then under that would be SPW for my first dog I ever had, which was Sadie, for Pixie, P. And then she's not really my dog, but she's basically in family, and that's Winnie. And that's my mom and sister's dog. But I see her so much, and she's Pixie's best friend / sister, cousin thing, bobber. So I feel like I need to have her on there in some way, so that's where the W would be for her. And then if I ever had any other dogs, I'd add on their little letter initial. So that way they'd be represented underneath the paw print. And I'd probably do the same text as the feather on my shoulder here. Yeah, so that's all my tattoos. If you guys like this video, give this video a big old paws up. Subscribe, join the Bugsy family, and I shall see you guys on the next video. Bye!